Tonight, families are sounding the alarm before they say it's too late.
When you sign up to serve, you know there's always a chance you could face combat. But our men and women in uniform are fighting another battle.
I'm sitting on the floor right now. We're not fully moved in yet.
Only this one is on the home front.
It's been rough.
And their families
That's one of my children.
are on the front lines.
I'm just Sorry, I get a diaper.
These four families have never met. They live in different parts of the country and belong to different branches of the military. But they are all now members of the same club they never expected to join.
We're like, okay, new system, roll with the punches.
That new system is called the GHC, or Global Household Goods Contract. Basically, the military is getting out of the business of moving and handing over the keys to a single private company. But HomeSafe Alliance hasn't even fully rolled out the program yet, and families say it's off to a very bumpy start.
We don't understand what happened.
Laura Brigman and her family recently moved from Louisiana to Wisconsin after her husband medically retired. She says she based everything on the moving dates HomeSafe Alliance provided. When moving day came, no one showed up.
And they're like, we don't have movers planned for you. We haven't had anybody locked in for you. I'm sorry, your emails had told us we had movers. They're like, those are all auto-generated, and we have no way to stop them.
Movers also didn't show up for Caitlin Goldgard, who had also planned her life around the moving dates she was given.
My husband was like, we have flights. Do you not understand? Like, my wife has flights for family members that are dying. Like, we can't move everything around because you guys can't show up on the day you promised.
Olivia took matters into her own hands.
I have to report to my command by, February 12th. I don't have time to play these games.
She asked that we just use her first name, not identify her service branch, and share pics of her 3 cats that made the 700-plus mile move. She hired her own moving company, but the money she got for moving herself did not even begin to cover it.
So I'm in the hole roughly $7,500.
And again, this isn't a move that you wanted. You were ordered to move.
Right, this is an order.
Caitlin Jones is a newlywed. She says HomeSafe was a no-show on moving day too, but did end up packing and taking their stuff. They left for California, but she says everything they own just sat in Florida.
They knew that my husband was about to be leaving and I was going to be here alone, and they just didn't really seem to care.
Before he reported for duty, her husband posted this review on HomeSafe's Facebook page, saying he was calling the police and reporting his goods stolen. HomeSafe Alliance removed all reviews and posted their Facebook recommendations feature was no longer available.
That seems pretty sketchy.
Meanwhile, Caitlin's husband left on a ship.
Finally, just yesterday, my stuff got delivered to me. So it was almost 4 weeks past the required delivery date,
leaving her totally alone in an empty house.
Okay, so let's unpack how we got here. HomeSafe Alliance has a multi-billion-dollar contract with the government to handle all military moves. The transition period was supposed to start in 2023 and take 9 months. Instead, it took 18. So here we are in 2025, and it's only rolled out at fewer than 100 military installations. By May, it's supposed to be everywhere.
I think we have a catastrophic train derailment coming for peak season.
You could call Megan Harless an accidental activist.
The previous program, or what's called the legacy program now, it wasn't perfect.
So in 2018, she posted an open letter to the military asking for more transparency in the moving process on her blog, The Military Spouse Chronicles. And someone suggested turning it into a petition.
So I was like, sure, whatever. Put it into change.org, posted the link. This was on a Friday, and I completely expected it to die off into internet land over the weekend.
More than 100,000 signatures later, it got the attention of Congress, and Harless was invited to sit on a spouse advisory panel. She says the program started to improve, but then a private company stepped in.
It felt a lot like privatized housing. So it's taken us almost 11 months to deliver less than 1,000 shipments, and peak season is 8,000 shipments a week.
Would you call this program a disaster?
Yes, right now, I absolutely would.
Already, military families are paying the price.
You know, people are missing their report dates, and it's crazy.
My husband's out here trying to serve his country but also take care of his family, and when HomeSafe isn't doing their part, it was harder on him to do his part.
I feel like I'm talking to the same person over and over again, slightly different circumstances, exact same experience.
Yep, that's because we have to use the same system, right? We're all using the same system because we're required to.
A system military families should not have to fight because their focus needs to remain on other fights.
HomeSafe Alliance declined my request for an interview, but a company spokesperson did email a response to some of the questions we had. They claim the majority of their moves so far have been successful, but they do admit some delays in the early stages. They say they've fixed the auto response, which, as we've shown you, confused families when movers didn't show up as scheduled. As for turning off Facebook reviews, HomeSafe says there was wrong information being spread about the program. HomeSafe's full response can be found at WRDW.com.